All right, we're about to dive into a story that pits the cold, hard logic of numbers against the absolute chaos of the open sea. It's a tale about a really perilous voyage and, the one variable that you just can't plot on any chart. So we kick things off with a threat. This one line, from Captain Prince to his young navigator Nat Bowditch, just perfectly captures the tension at the heart of our story. It's the sound of a man who trusts his gut and the ocean's fury way more than any numbers scribbled on a piece of paper. So, who are these two guys? Well, on one side, you've got Captain Prince, a seasoned, grizzled veteran of the sea. And on the other, there's young Nat Bowditch, a brilliant navigator who sees the entire world as just a series of solvable equations. For Prince, mathematician is not a compliment. Oh no, it's an insult. And this slide right here, it just lays out their completely different mindsets. Picture this. They've just spent 10 brutal days fighting their way through the treacherous Sunda Strait. Nat's reaction is to marvel at the sheer scale of the place, the square mileage. Captain Prince, though, is absolutely furious. He's just lived through the danger, and he wants to talk survival, not statistics. And this sets the stage for the ultimate test. They've got to get to Manila, a journey of over 1,500 miles. Their chart is shaky at best, and the waters are just littered with islands and reefs. For Captain Prince, this is a complete nightmare. But for Nat Bowditch, it's just a problem waiting to be solved. So, with the course all set, based on Nat's calculations, they sail for Manila. This leg of the journey is either going to prove Nat's methods are pure genius, or it's going to get them all killed. The whole crew, especially Captain Prince, is just watching and waiting. So what was the result? They make the trip from Sunda Strait to Manila in just 15 days. Let that sink in for a second. It took them 10 days to get through a single strait, but only 15 to cover the next 1,500 miles. It was an absolutely astonishingly fast and accurate passage. The feat was so incredible that when another American captain, a Captain Riddle, hears about how fast they traveled, he just can't believe it. His reaction says it all. Man alive, that's navigation. This wasn't just good sailing. This was something totally new, something revolutionary. And this is the moment of conversion. When Captain Riddle is just amazed, Captain Prince, the ultimate skeptic, puffs out his chest and says, super casually, "Not when you're sure of your longitude. Just a simple matter of mathematics." He actually adopts the very phrase he once threatened Nat over. It's a grudging, for sure, but a total victory for the mathematician. So while they're in Manila Harbor, the crew gets fascinated by this local technology, the outrigger canoe. It's a different kind of intelligence altogether. It's this long, skinny boat with this amazing bamboo structure sticking way out over the water to keep it stable. And get this, watch how it works. A huge gust of wind hits the sail, and the canoe starts to tip way over. The sailors just slide right out onto those bamboo logs, using their own body weight as a counterweight. The canoe pops right back up and just takes off. It's this perfect, real-time use of physics, a physical calculation, not one done on paper. Their time in Manila eventually comes to an end, and the ship, the Estrella, turns for home. But the journey back? Well, that's going to present a whole new set of challenges, dangers that no amount of math could ever predict or solve. The trip home turns into this grueling ordeal. In February, they learn America is at war with France, which means any ship they see could be an enemy. Then, the ship itself turns on them, springing a serious leak that means they have to constantly pump, exhausted, just to stay afloat. For weeks, it is a desperate fight against the sea. By May, they finally see it. Home, Cape Ann. But they're not safe yet. Oh no. The entrance to Salem Harbor is a treacherous maze of hidden ledges and rocks. This is the final exam, where one single miscalculation means wrecking the ship right in front of their own homes. The tension is just immense. Captain Prince is on deck shouting out commands. They have to skirt past the first major danger, Gale's Ledge. Then comes the next threat, Bowditch Ledge. As a kid, Nat was proud of a landmark that shared his family name. He found out later these ledges are named for disasters, not for honors, a pretty chilling reminder of what's at stake. They clear Bowditch Ledge, but it's not over. There's still more. One last set of rocks to navigate around. The margin for error is 0. The entire 2-year voyage comes down to these final, nerve-wracking minutes. And while all this is going on, Nat's mind is somewhere else completely. He's not just calculating tides and headings, he's wondering if Elizabeth, the girl he left behind, is up on the captain's walk, watching for him. Suddenly, the personal stakes for him are just immense. And they make it. The ship is safe, Nat gets to the wharf, and she's the first person he sees. But that triumphant homecoming he'd been picturing, it just evaporates in an instant. Elizabeth is there, smiling and waving, right next to a handsome young man her own age. And this right here, this is the final brutal calculation. Nat is 24. Elizabeth is 17. He'd been gone for years. He, the master of numbers, had perfectly plotted a course halfway around the world, but he had totally failed to account for this simple human mathematics of time and age and a young woman's heart. And in that moment of painful clarity, Nat turns his own triumphant phrase right back on himself. Of course she had moved on. He should have seen that one coming. It was, after all, just a simple matter of mathematics. You know, we can plot courses and master these incredibly complex systems, but there are always human variables that just lie outside of our equations. And it leaves us with a pretty powerful question. In our own lives, in our plans, our ambitions, what are the crucial variables that we're forgetting to calculate?